Hi, I'm Tanner. If you haven't noticed yet, Anderson, of course. You guys may know me from school or on my YouTube account. And I just wanted to just do a podcast about something that meant something to me today. And I kind of I don't know how to explain it. Things been going through my head the past few days. I've been going crazy. I don't know what you call it. I've been insane, I guess you could say. I just had something inside of me that's just been wanting me to do this forever. And it's a podcast of, a story that I want to tell everybody. And it gets to me every time. I don't know how to explain it. It's just no one's ever going to get the story. No one's ever going to really know the true meaning of the story. But it's just a story I want to tell that means something to me. And if I got it off my chest, I could feel a lot better about myself. So let's begin. So there was a boy growing up. He was a great young boy. He had his life in front of him. He loved his life. He wanted to do everything with his life. And remember, this is a true story on the Bible. Of course, the Bible. I'll put everything on the Bible right now. This is a true story. And some of my friends, you're about to hear this story. You know it's a true story because I've told you guys this. And it's a hard story to explain. Such a hard story. I can never explain it to anybody. And I just wanted everybody to know it right now what this story was about. So this young boy has all of his life goals in front of him. He wants to be the best he can be in his best ways. And as you may have heard in my past podcast, perfect is not the way to go. He wasn't perfect. He just wanted to be along with everybody in his life. And he fitted in with everybody. He made good friends at school and he loved it. Well, let's just say he's in primary school and life's going good still. And one day he's out there playing on the playground, and he falls and breaks his arm. You know, if you fall and break your arm, you know you're gonna have to go to the doctor and you're gonna get a cast and everything, and it's gonna get fixed. And well, it's a little emotional to me if you're wondering. It's kind of a hard story to tell. He gets his thing started, or he gets his arm, and they notice that he's had swelling in his leg. His legs become injured. He wanted to know that what was wrong with his leg. So doctors look at it and they say, "Oh, you're fine." Swelling kept going down, it kept coming back up, and they didn't know what to do. And then I'll tell you the exact words the doctor told him. He said, "You're so fine now." He said, "You're fine that you could be running like a dog in your backyard right now." He said, "Go enjoy your life. Be what you want to be. Do what you want to do." And so he went on and lived his life, and after a while it got worse and worse. His leg did, and finally he had to go see a specialist. He had to go get something, therapy, had to keep going through therapy, and he just wanted to. He kept having tests done to him, and I remember him crying through nights and days, and before he would go through these tests he would panic. He would literally panic, and he was afraid. He was so afraid of getting needles poked in him just to figure out what was wrong with him and try to do these tests. And he was just scared of everything around him. He just didn't know how to react with all this. And so he continues on with these tests, and he gets into his life, and after a while he comes up to himself and he thinks to himself, well, if they don't notice that I have this problem, then I'll be accepted into society for not having this problem. And just for having this problem, I mean, he thinks he's going to be accepted in society. He really does think he does, and he does get accepted in society even though he only tells a few people what's wrong with him, and those people he tells, he knows he can trust and would have never told anybody. But this is when he has to come out now, and so he keeps getting these tests done, and then finally he gets a phone call one day, and it's a doctor, and they tell him, hey, we want you to come out to Arizona. We got a test for you to do. So he goes out there and takes this test, does these tests. He has a bunch of needles poked in him. They figured out what was wrong with him. They just call it by fall. So they figure out that the fall caused everything. And I've basically bypassed the whole subject, or basically bypassed the whole story. This is just the whole story. But there's a star that he always carried around. He's always carried around. He made it back in the 3rd grade. And people still, that was like right a couple years after what just happened. and he was going through all this testing. And the star said, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" The kid said, "I want to be a football player. I want to be a football player. That's what I want to be when I grow up." And I remember he'd always get the smile when he was playing football. He just loved it so much. He could never get enough of it, and he loved this passion for sports. And he loved, and loved football. I mean, his friends could tell you he knows everything about football, and that's what just made him enjoy life. And so after a while, before he finds out what was really wrong with him, he finds out that he did have lymphedema in his leg, and that wasn't very common for men to have lymphedema in their legs due to injury. So they tell him whenever he finds out that he has lymphedema in his leg, you can't play sports. You gotta cut back on the sports. And that's at the time whenever I was planning out to try out for football and everything. They tell him, you can't play sports. If you play sports, if anything happens to you, we might have to amputate your leg, because if it got infected, it would get out of control, and you would be in the hospital for months and months and months, and you would never come out. So after we went to Arizona, of course, a couple years later he did, and they figured out that it was caused by the fall, and it was actually healing itself as it went, but he would still never be able to play physical sports, and it was kind of hard for him. And today he still carries around that star that tells him what he wanted to do with his real life, and he's always had these barricades put in front of him, these things that just keep blocking him, and he keeps breaking through them every day. He achieves what he wants in life. He doesn't stop. He doesn't want to stop. Jesus knows that he can never stop. He gives him that willpower. God gives him that willpower to move through every day and enjoy his life with his friends. And if he doesn't, he blocks out all the negative comments and tries to make the best of what's out there in life. And what's best is that he does a good job at it. He wants to enjoy life. And he's always been accepted into society. He's always loved. He's always socially inclined to react with people. He is shy, but that's at the very beginning. He's a great person to know. And I know that if you guys met him, he'd be awesome to meet. He's about my age now, I think. Yeah, he's about my age. You guys may know him. Might as well just tell you who he is. He's actually, how do I say this? It's me. Yep, I just told you guys the story of my life in a short thing that actually had you guys going. And it's actually a true story. It's me and my life. And I know you're probably wondering, he's never told me this before. I haven't. I just felt like whenever I did this video, when I felt like I would never be accepted for who I am, for why I didn't try out for football. I just thought I would never be accepted. I think, and some people tell me, oh, that's just another reason why you're just a wimp to try out football. I have the passion for football, and I love football so much, but it's kind of hard to tell the story, and I try not to choke up just a little bit. Had a lot of stuff happen the past few days, and yeah, so it's just a hard story to explain. I mean, that's my life. I had the blockades put through me. I get frustrated about it every day, about what I want to do in my life now, since my lifelong goal was never achieved. I can never achieve what I want in life. I've actually had the points of thought where, what do I want to do in life? Do I just sit here in bed all day and just get up and just look at the sky and say, I'll just do it another day? And then I looked on quotes. I've always heard quotes and everything, and I finally got a quote to myself. I always keep it in my hand. Nothing is ever going to stop you from doing what you want to do. Just because something comes in your life and stops you from doing what you want to do doesn't mean it's going to stop you from something else. God meant for everything to happen. If God meant for everything to happen, then He meant for something to happen to you on the next road, just because you can't be on the other road. So I keep that comment in my head every day, and try not to let it ruin what I am and how I live my life. So if you're wondering, this is the life story of me, just telling it straight up, no comments or anything. I live my life. Love it. I'm just gonna do me. So if you want to learn more about me or just talk to me, just get to know me on Tanner Jesus Let Me Anderson. So back, and I'll see you guys later.